Hebrews. This is our non-Messianic conversation channel. This is our Friday night Q&A. It's the 14th of May, 2021. I'm asking everybody to like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification button. And I want to make a little announcement because, Lord of Hosts been nudging on me to go all the way in and showing me that, our time is short. So I'm out in the open now. I'm not at the shop no more. So you're going to be seeing a whole lot of other stuff going on with me. So tie your shoes up. And with that being said, I'm going to go into my moment of silence, which is for the Lord of Hosts and our Creator and all that they are doing to bring about our deliverance, regathering us from the lands where we were scattered. So we're going to go into our moment of silence and do a Sabbath prayer. Then we're going to read the Psalms. Okay. Oh Lord, we come before thee at the beginning of our Sabbath day that you, O Lord, have given unto us for rest. We come honoring and worshiping thee. We come worshiping thee because of thy great steadfastness and might. O Lord, you delivered our forefathers out of Egypt and out of Babylon with a show of great force. O Lord, you foretold that you would deliver us from the hands of our enemies, the Gentiles, just as your servant David, Daniel examined the book of Jeremiah and realized your coming. O Lord, you have opened our eyes to these books that have been hidden from us. And O Lord, we have discovered that you foretold through the prophets that you would come and deliver us. We are waiting and seeking you, O Lord, at this hour, seeking and waiting for your return. Tarry not, O Lord, stretch forth thy hands upon our enemies and scatter them. Come from thy holy habitation and turn back our captivity. Peace be unto you. Yeah. Okay, sorry about that. So we're going to read the Psalms right quick. Okay. Psalms. Okay. I'm going to read Psalms 113. It's Psalms 113 is God's mercy are many. Praise ye the Lord. Praise, O ye servants of the Lord. Praise the name of the Lord. Blessed be the name of the Lord from this time forth and forevermore. From the rising of the sun unto the going down of the same, the Lord's name is to be praised. The Lord is high above all nations, and his glory above the heavens. Who is likened unto the Lord our God, who dwelleth on high? Who humbles himself to behold the things that are in heaven and in the earth. He raises up the poor out of the dust and lifteth the needy out of the dunghill, that he may set him with princes, even with the princes of his people. He maketh the barren woman to keep house and to be a joyful mother of children. Praise ye the Lord. So that was Psalms 113, and it's God's mercy or many. So this right here, in this song right here, I see the witness to the fact that the revelation that the Most High gave unto me and then unto the people on this line. So here we go right here. It says verse 5 says, this is Psalm 13. Verse 5 says, who is likened unto the Lord our God, who dwelleth on high, right? So everybody assuming everybody don't know this. Lord of hosts and Yahweh is two different beings. So it says, who is likened unto the Lord our God, who dwelleth on high, who humbled himself. See that? Who humbled himself to behold the things that are in heaven and in the earth. That's the Lord of hosts. Yahweh ain't got to humble himself to do nothing, because the Lord of hosts is second in command, and he willed all his power, but he humbled himself. And so you say, what are you talking about? Well, ain't that what David did? That's what made David different than all other kings in Israel. When David found out that he was wrong, he humbled himself. That's how the Most High, he was able to evade a lot of stuff, drama that happened in his life, because when it came down to him being able to put that pride and all that aside, he ain't worried about that. He got on and he humbled himself and submitted himself and repented of what he was doing or whatever he had going on. So he says, 6, who humbled himself to behold the things that are in heaven and in the earth. He raises up the poor out of the dust and lifts up the needy out of the dunghill, that he may set him the princes, even the princes of his people. So he's talking about the lower, or the meek and lower class people of Israel. It's no different than the princes, David and his princes, and all the princes in Israel. So, but anyway, so it says in verse 6, who humbled himself to behold the things that are in heaven and in the earth. So if this was Yahweh, why would Yahweh see his creation, did humble his own self? No, it's the Lord of hosts, and he know who created all that, who did all that, and he humbled himself, even though he willing to hold a whole bunch of power. Ain't that something? You got clowns now, they'll get a new Cadillac and you can't tell them nothing. Ain't that something? Okay, so with that being said, I was gonna anybody got any current events? Okay, well, I got something for you right here. First one is messed up. Let me see what I'm doing. Okay. Okay, this going on in Israel right now as we speak.
Emergency declared as Israel heads for full-scale war. Israel has declared a state of emergency in a city close to Tel Aviv, its former capital, after the country's Arab minority reacted furiously to airstrikes in Gaza and police raids on Jerusalem's Al-Aqsa Mosque, with at least 40 killed, while a senior United Nations official has voiced concern about the risk of the unrest escalating into a full-scale war. Meanwhile, a restaurant in the city of Acre was destroyed in an arson attack, and in Jaffa, also close to Tel Aviv, police used stun grenades to disperse protesters. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu declared a state of emergency in Lod, after reports emerged on Tuesday of Arabs setting fire to a synagogue and Jews stoning a car that was being driven by an Arab resident. Lod Mayor Yair Revivo told to Israel's Channel 12 News, "We have lost control of the city and the streets." Garbage bins, knocked over and set ablaze, could be seen.
Yeah, if you notice, they already, you know anything about Albert Pike, he had already, he's a Luciferian, and they're able to channel, these spirits and these angels and these demons, and then, they give them information. So he predicted that it was going to be 3 world wars, and the final world war was going to be, you know, between Christians, Israelis, and the Muslims. But the thing I want to shine is to understand that, you know, these Israeli, so-called Israelis, they've been involved in all the wars. What in the world? Hold up. What the? Okay, let me get this back. So they've been involved in all the wars. They've been involved in all the wars that's been going on in the world. They was behind what Hitler was doing in World War. I think it's 1 or 2, but anyway, and we see what's going on right now. They waiting on World War III, and we see who's keep on sparking all these different conflicts, trying to just jump it off. But they've been behind all of them. They've been involved in it. Even I don't know what everybody know about it, but that they sunk that ship. They found out it was the Mossad, the Secret Service out of Israel, that sunk the Lusitania, which brought America into World War One. And if I'm not mistaken, Hitler was involved in World War II, so we know what he was doing. Those Israelis, those Jews, was involved in that, so-called Jews. And then now we see this, and World War II is on the verge of coming into existence. And then here we go again. They on the scene again. Okay, so with that being said, we're going to go to anybody got any comments? No comments? Okay.
No comments.
Okay. Let me go. Like I said, I got demons coming from everywhere. Nobody have no idea what's dealing with demons who ever and ever. But let's see. Okay. So here go the one I've been telling you about. I've been showing you this video forever and ever. But here we go right here. I don't know if anybody know anything about it. You can see what's going on in Israel right now. They're almost in a full-scale war. And we know the Most High got to judge them people because they're not the real Israelites. But look at this. Ain't this something? Okay.
Skywatch Media News for the May the 13th, 2021.
So said, May the 13th.
A group of scientific experts from NASA and the European Space Agency recently gathered for a week-long hypothetical exercise, which was conducted for the sole purpose of averting an incoming asteroid that is capable of annihilating Europe. The exercise involving the international space agencies took place during the final week of April. But NASA has participated in a total of 7 impact scenarios dating back to 2013.
So when you understand how these people operate, they have these simulated events because they're preparing for it. They're practicing for an event. They got scheduled. And I showed you that this right here is on the money. And I've been showing you asteroid after asteroid that they've been bringing up like the little boy crying wolf. So here we go right here.
4 of which took place at the International Planetary Defense Conferences, and 3 in conjunction with FEMA, including the latest one. The joint NASA-FEMA exercises have included the participation of other federal agencies, including the Defense and State Departments. With the most recent exercise, the space agency experts were facing a big dilemma. An asteroid was detected 35 million miles from Earth, which was on a 6-month collision path with our planet, the main target being the European continent. Now, you may be asking yourself, well, this was only a mock exercise. International space agencies have conducted them in previous years, So what's the big deal?
Mm.
Well, as it turned out, at the end of this year's exercise, which started on April the 26th, the experts concluded that our current technology would be unable to avert a major disaster from an asteroid impact. You see, the whole exercise was initiated to access the global capacity to react to an asteroid threat with current technologies, and to determine how international agencies would respond to an actual impact prediction.
Okay.
Live streaming can be tricky, and sometimes trying to find the right software to make your
prediction. Each day of the exercise, the participants were given additional information about the asteroid's size and its trajectory, and how the simulation would take place in a real-life scenario, as indicated here for days 1 through 4 of the exercise. Unfortunately, it didn't turn out so well.
They already got a designated area where it's going to land in. See how they got it set all up? Well, we know it ain't going to hit there. It's going to hit in the Atlantic.
The end of the exercise as the asteroid crashed into Eastern Europe. If we learned anything from the recent impact exercise, it would be the fact that we are helpless to avert a catastrophe from space in such a short amount of time, which in this scenario was 6 months. The current state of our technology does not allow for the deployment of a credible space mission, which means that we are sitting ducks. But there is a silver lining in the asteroid scenario. The simulation exercise indicated that its measuring systems are accurate to the extent that they can pinpoint where an asteroid will strike 6 days in advance.
Mm.
Now, this is meaningful when it comes to the evacuation of an area where an impact would be expected to occur. There is one other thing that may be somewhat comforting in this respect. The probability of an asteroid impact leveling a city is just 0.1% each year. It is even lower when taking into consideration the likelihood that an incoming asteroid would impact the world's oceans, which cover 71% of the Earth's surface. And
that's the scenario right there. Higher probability. See, he giving it to you, but he doing it in a roundabout way. But this been playing for a long time. Like I said, it's on the money.
And where an impact would have a much higher probability. However, a dilemma does persist, which explains the main reason for the impact exercises in recent years. There is an estimated 2/3 of asteroids larger than 460 feet that are waiting to be discovered, which means that the hypothetical scenario played out by space agency experts at the end of last month has now become a real possibility. The experts understand this from previous experiences, which is why they hammer home the need for an improved means of detecting yet unknown asteroids that exist in the darkness of space. Back in July of 2019, an asteroid the size of a football field was discovered just 24 hours before passing less than 1/6 the distance between the Earth and the Moon. Shortly after its close encounter, NASA officials acknowledged that the asteroid went undetected until it was right on top of us. And this is why asteroids that sneak up on the Earth continue to be a major threat to our planet. In December of 2018, a large meteoroid exploded over the Bering Sea, unleashing 49 kilotons of energy as it came down crashing on Earth's atmosphere at an estimated 72,000 miles per hour. The world wasn't even aware of the explosion
until well after it was picked up by NASA's Terra satellite, shown here. Although NASA is devising advanced technological means to avoid a real-life scenario with dangerous asteroids, its latest exercise indicates that we are ill-equipped to avoid a catastrophic asteroid event. With current technology, spotting a near-Earth object comes down to whether we have a telescope pointing in its direction. In an effort to remove the blind spot produced by the brightness of the sun from behind the asteroid, NASA is developing a surveyor spacecraft, which they plan to deploy in the year 2025. The surveyor will be able to detect 90% of asteroids that are 140 meters or larger in size. Now, that still leaves a good percentage of asteroids that will remain undetected. But thankfully, there is time on our side, and the technology is moving at a rapid pace. So stay tuned. Have you taken notice of the strange and rare atmospheric anomalies that are appearing not only on Earth, but also on the planet?
So, like I said, most I said, he told us, and we so far away from that too, it's pathetic. But he said he used the sun and the moon and the skies and the luminaries for science. And you see what this guy just said, all this strange stuff going on, but you know, we ain't paying no attention to it.
Planet Mars. The images and videos are astounding, as you will see.
Come on now. Come on now. Notice what is happening there. Gentile. So you notice that all this stuff right here happening in the sky, and the whole world dancing to Jerusalem on earth. But nobody ain't paying no attention. So let me get out of this. Anybody got any comments? No comments. I was going to say what's up with James Michael. I don't know who that is, but welcome to the line. Okay. Nobody had nothing. Oh, I got a little. Got any comments, brother? Okay. I'm doing my little need to know tonight. I'm gonna plug this in there, and what it is, I've been over and over again showing you how about the something going on with the the redhead, and the redhead giants. They was all over the planet and all that. So what I'm just need to know, what I'm showing you right now is we talked about it before, and being that they on my case about these videos, playing. I'm gonna do some images right here. Let me get it right quick. So we're gonna start out with Dracula. Okay. Okay, can y'all see that? Hello?
Yes, we can see it.
Yes, we can.
Okay, so we talked about how these fallen angels can shapeshift. That's common. That's whether you believe it or not, it's on you, but that's what they're capable of doing. When you go back and do your research, that's the difference in them and us. I'm gonna go back after I show you this. I'm gonna go back and read something in Genesis that happened in the garden. Then it's gonna bring a whole other light on something. But anyway, this Dracula right here. So all these is him. This him. It's the young man Dracula, right? It's the old man. No, he already showing you he is. You got the red vest on right here. You're gonna post that red up. Let's look at that. Don't take my word for it. So this is the Lord of Hosts talking. I'm in Isaiah 63 right quick. So he says, that's how he identified him. Just like I'm telling you, he told us from the beginning, the sun and the moon and the luminaries are for signs. But are we paying attention to that? So 63, Isaiah 63 says, who is this? It's the Lord of Hosts asking the question. And the average Israelite had no clue. So he says, who is this that coming from Edom with dyed garments from Basra, that that is glorious in his apparel? So he's taking pride in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel and thy garments, like him that treadeth in the winepress? So he is. He posting that red up. We're gonna do that. That's how you're gonna identify. So we posting the red up. But this Dracula is the same. This the old man Dracula. But look, he old as hell. But see that red hair? See the red hair up here? Okay, now here go the beast. Right here. See that? See the red hair? Notice how they got waves in it. And they're hooking him up. But you got, like I said, you go watch this movie. This is Grand Stoke Dracula. He got piercing blue eyes. Piercing blue eyes. Green with piercing blue eyes. Now I want you to go back and remember, a lot of people it ain't registering with everybody, but they wanted to say Noah was albino, but when he was born, he opened his eyes up, his eyes shined all over the room. Well, them type of eyes ain't no characteristic for no Hebrew Israelite. When you start walking the dog with this information, you see what he's talking about. Now see here you go again, right here. He ugly as hell, but look at the eyes. Look at the eyes up here. But like I said, all of them, they red. That's a red hair. They posting up the red hair. Okay? So we're gonna keep that in mind. So anyway, I had a video. You have to go watch it on your own because I can't play the movies on here. So when you go back and watch this scene right here where they're showing this beast, he's sleeping with this woman. She got red hair. They're in a garden, and he comes in the garden, and he hypnotizing them. Got to go back to the story in the garden because people don't understand what's happening in the garden. He's a supernatural being. He using all kind of stuff on her. He hoodwinking her. He hypnotizing all that. So he didn't draw this lady out of she up at the castle. And she engaged to be married and all that, but he shows up over there in London, and you draw out the house, but it's a big garden outside out the house. So she come out in the garden, it's a maze. She go all through the maze, and then he is standing by this bitch. And so he immediately go to work on her. They start having sexual intercourse. Well, a girlfriend come to her room to check on her and see that her door wide open, and she gone out in the garden, so she follow out there. And then she get out there, she walk up on him, him having sex with her. So if you want to know what happened in the garden, go watch that. So anyway, then when he turned and see her, he noticed her standing there watching him. He turned and look at her. Then he tell her, he speak and say, you don't remember seeing me. Then he just all of a sudden he calls her to forget everything she saw. He goes in the bushes, and then she goes and start helping her girlfriend, but she totally forgot what she had saw. So this ain't no regular man. And like I said, these are three of his forms right here. But notice this one right here. Okay. So let me go ahead and deal with that right quick before we go any further. Let me get this. So like I say, Jay's shoes up. Let's see how we do this. Okay, here we go. Okay. Here we go. Give me 1 minute. Bear with me. Like I say, you do with it what you want. See that? There he is. Same dude. Right here. Look at that. See how the Most High, I told you what the Most High said about the red. You gonna post that up? See, there he is. This is the Lord's table. Lord's self right here. Yeah, look what they doing. Got the light all behind it. Same dude. I just showed you. See that? There he is. You know, let that front mate. Okay, so let's go keep going. Okay, so see that? Same dude. Same dude. See that? There he is. They're posting up. They ain't fumbling with it. You got red hair, everything. Okay? Even the beast got red hair. So we're gonna move on. Okay. Now I'm gonna go over here. This the let me get this. Let me get this right here. Yeah, I already showed you that. Let me get back. Right here. Yeah, so I wasn't really gonna bring this up, but I'm gonna show you something. Anybody that watched the movie oh, y'all don't see that, do you?
No, we can't see.
Okay, my bad. Hold up. This here was, it just did something to my spirit. I just waited. I know the Most High was gonna bring the truth to me, but and here it is right here. So let's see if I got this right. Yeah, there it is. So see that right there? See that? That's demonic. We go way back in history, pagan worship. So let's see the deer head. Did anybody see Get Out?
I saw it.
Okay, remember the deer? They kept on showing the deer. The guy had deers on the wall. Remember when he's sitting in the chair, he was hypnotizing. He was looking at that deer with the deer with his antlers just like this.
I do remember.
So what you have to do is it's a whole bunch of all those movies you watch with satanic stuff, the wicked movies. This here, and I never could figure out what was up with the deer head. What was up with that head? Is right here. It's about 4 other movies, but I can't recall the movie. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back and look at them because I got a serious movie collection, and I remember seeing that in a couple of movies, 3 or 4 movies. But they go that deer, they show you. But like I said, when Get Out first came on, remember the guy they killed the deer. That's the reason the cops stopped him because of the deer that was in the road. He had hit the deer, and the black dude was going out in the woods to go see if he was still alive. But anyway, they putting so like I'm saying, these movies ain't for us because who know this? But somebody that know about all this, they already know how to deal in the movie. They already know what's going on with it. But anyway, so let me keep moving. I just want to shine a light on that so you get zero in on it when you see it. Okay. Gets this here. Okay. So we talking about the shape shifting part. So here we go. See that? That's what we just watched. See that? We know. See that? That's half man. You know, got human-like features. See his arms and all this. Got the hump in his back like the wolf, right? See that? You know. And so this was happening a lot in Europe, and like they got a couple of places over in Europe where we got stories from back in the day, like recently it was in 1800s. This beach like this showed up was in the killing folks in this little rural area, and then they finally tracked him down and killed him. But he, you know, that's part of their history. This type of stuff right here. So what is this? Like I was telling you before, they always talk about the giants. You know, and they talk about the giants that when these angels came down and slept with men, slept with women, and got giants. But they don't talk about they slept with animals too. This angelic DNA can mix with animals. You know, a man can sleep with they've been sleeping with sheep for years because sheep got a same sexual organ as a woman has. So they've been sleeping with sheep for thousands of years. These Europeans have, and so, but they've been, you know, ejaculating in them. But human DNA ain't gonna mix with theirs. But that angelic DNA mix with anything that it go into. So this is where all this stuff here was coming from. So you say, what you talking about? What you mean? So see this picture right here, this one right here. We just saw that when, if you go watch the movie, but Grand Stoke Dracula just was having sex with the woman I showed you. He was having sex with her. I showed you how he looked. You know what I'm saying? So let's look at it. You say, what you talking about? Well, I'm in the book of Joshua. Let me get there right quick. Okay. I'm in the book of Joshua, chapter 61. So here we go. I'm going to start reading. 61 verse 1 says, and it came to pass at that time, Pharaoh, king of Egypt, commanded all his people to make him a strong palace in Egypt. And he also commanded his son Jacob to assist the Egyptians in the building of the Egyptian in the building. And the Egyptians made a beautiful and elegant palace for royal habitation. And he dwelt therein, and he renewed his government, and he reigned securely. And Zebulun, the son of Jacob, died in that year. This is the 70th year of the going down of the Israelites into Egypt. And Zebulun died at 114 years old and was put in a coffin and given into the hands of his children. And in the 75th year died his brother Simeon. He was 120 years old at his death, and he was also put into a coffin and given into the hands of his children. And Zephaniah, the son of Eliphaz, son of Esau, captain of the host of Angus, king of Dinihah, was still daily enticing Angus to prepare for battle to fight with the sons of Jacob in Egypt. And Angus was unwilling to do this thing for his servants had related unto him all the might of the sons of Jacob, what they had done unto them in that battle with the children of Esau. And Zephaniah was in those days enticing Angus to fight the son of Jacob in those days. Right? We're going somewhere. And after some time, Angus hearkened to the words of Zephaniah and consented with him to fight with the sons of Jacob in Egypt. And Angus got all his people in order, and the people numbers in the sands which are upon the seashore. And he formed his resolution to go to Egypt to battle. Right? So it says, and amongst the servants of Angus was a young 15-year-old Balaam, son of Beor, was his name, and the youth was very wise and understood the art of witchcraft. And Angus said unto Balaam, conjure for us, I pray thee, with witchcraft, that we may know who will prevail in the battle to which we are now proceeding. And Balaam ordered that they should bring him wax, and that he made thereof the likeness of a chariot and a horseman, representing the army of Angus and the army of the Egyptians. And he put them in cunningly prepared waters that he had for a purpose. And he took his hand and the boughs of the myrtle trees, and he exercised his cunning, and he joined them over the water. And there appeared unto him in the water the resembling image of the host of Angus, falling before the resembling image of the Egyptians and the sons of Jacob. And Balaam told this thing to Angus, and Angus despaired and did not arm himself to go down to Egypt to battle, and he remained in the city. And when Zephaniah the son of Eliphaz saw that Angus despaired of going forth to the battle with the Egyptians, Zephaniah fled. So here we go. Zephaniah fled from Angus from Africa, and he went and came into Chechem, right? He came to Chechem. So remember what Rome, Edom, and Rome is the same. Chechem and Rome is the same. So Zephaniah on his way to Rome, right? Now we pick back up where we started out with. So he on his way to Chechem, 13, 64 and 13 of Jasher. And all the people of Chechem received him with great honor, and they hired him to fight their battles all the days. And Zephaniah became exceedingly rich in those days. And the troops of the king of Africa still spread themselves in those days. And the children of Chechem assembled and went to Mount Capitaza. I can't say that word. On account of the troops of Angus, king of Africa, who were advancing upon him. And it was one day that Zephaniah lost a young heifer, and he went to seek it, and he heard it lowing around about the mountain. And Zephaniah went, and he saw, and behold, there was a large cave at the bottom of the mountain, and there was a great stone. Look at this, a great stone there at the entrance of the cave. Zephaniah split the stone and came into the cave and looked, and behold, a large animal was devouring the ox. Look on the screen. A large animal was devouring the ox. He devouring the ox. So you know how big and powerful ox is. From the middle upward, they resembled a man, and from the middle downward, they resembled an animal. And Zephaniah rose up against the animal, slew it with his sword. And the inhabitants of Chechem heard this thing, and they rejoiced exceedingly. And they said, what shall we do unto this man who has slain this animal that devours our cattle? So this ain't nothing new, which is what they talking about back in the 1800s was happening way back here. Roman Empire with the Romans. See that? So saying nothing new. Same beast he talking about right here. I'm showing you. Same beast right here. Here you go, right here. But I just showed you that was in. They call him Dracula. So let's keep going. It's right there in the scriptures. So anyway, let me get over here. Here we go. Okay. So like I said, we got red hair. Keep that in mind. We ain't familiar with it. So here we go right here. I showed you that. Let me go back. Showed you that. Okay, let me get over here. So yeah, so I was showing you how we read in the book of Noah and book of Enoch, where showing you how they done flipped our scriptures around, and they showed you that they said Noah was born, and when Noah was born, the reason why Lamech fled and he went to go seek Enoch because he wanted to ask Enoch what was wrong with his son. Some supposed to have been wrong with Noah. First of all, they said he was an albino, but they said he had funny eyes. You know, and his eyes lit the whole room up. So let's look at this. I'm in Jasher again. I mean, let me get it. I'll give you the page. I'll give you the verse in a minute. Let me get that. 20. So, I'm in chapter 69, verse 2. I'm going to read verse 1. It says, the king of Edom. See, dealing with Edom again. Just now we saw this beast, and Jephthah was on his way to Chechem. He's in the region where Chechem, the Romans, there when he saw this beast, right? The one I just read. Now we see that I'm in 69, and king of Edom died in those days. So we dealing with Edom. And the king of Edom died in those days, in the 18th year of his reign, and was buried in the temple which he had built for himself as his royal residence in the land of Edom. And the children of Esau sent Potiphar, which is upon the river, right? Look at this. Potiphar, which is upon the river, and they fetched from them a young man of beautiful eyes. See that? And comely aspect, whose name was Saul, and they made him king over them in place of Shalem. So they went to the specific place where these people had these funny looking eyes, right? And then because of that, because he had these funny looking eyes, they made him king over them. So we know that these Israelites, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and our forefathers, the 10 men before the flood, they didn't have no funny looking eyes. So these were anomalies from these angels, and they slept with these people. They had these different anomalies on certain people, and they took that to be holy. Like I was telling you about, ain't nothing holy about somebody that have epilepsy. That's what Julius Caesar would have, epilepsy fits. But they perceive him to be holy because and ascended from the gods because he would have epilepsy fits. When we know better now, there's something wrong with him if you have an epilepsy fits. Ain't nothing holy about that. But they would take something that's wicked as hell and make it holy. And the Most High already told us that. He said these people gonna make what's good bad, and what's bad they're gonna make it good. And we see that just like right here. They went and got this evidently it's a race of people that had these funny looking eyes, and they went and they went and got one of them to rule over them. So just for GP, you want to watch a good movie? It's called 10,000 BC. Watch that movie. It's about that right here. These people running around trying to. This one little really scrawny looking white girl was up there and was living up in the Antarctic somewhere with a tribe of people, and she had these funny looking eyes, and they was coming from all over the region trying to get her and killing each other over her, trying to get her to bring them to their tribe so that she can have an anointed tribe. It's called 10,000 BC. So anyway, so with that being said, I want to go to the garden based on what I just showed you about this shapeshifting and all that. So I'm in Genesis again. We went here ample time. So now I'm back in the story again. See, you can't read it right because you ain't got all the information. But now that you get more and more information, everything's starting to connect. So I'm in Genesis chapter 3. And the serpent came in the garden, right? So they tell you that old serpent, the devil, he got all these different names. The dragon, that's because he can shapeshift. So he came in the garden, it's Lucifer. He came in the garden, like I said, Lucifer is Zeus. Lucifer is Horus. He came in all these shapeshift. So Lucifer, the king of Tyre. So I'm in chapter 3. It says, now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord God had made. So we know this Lucifer. And he said unto the woman, yea, have God said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden. So you say, well, how I know that's Lucifer? And then what other beings on earth? He made Adam. He made Eve. You know, you got the angels. He made the 6th-day man in Genesis 1:26. This can't be nobody else but him. So, verse 2, and the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God hath said, ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. And the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die. For God doeth know that in the day that ye eat thereof, your eyes shall be open. Ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. Right? So I gave you all this information. So you got to apply all this information from what I'm reading right here. And then verse 6. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes. See that? Like I say, go watch the scene I'm telling you about in Grand Stoke Dracula. Says that it was pleasant to the eyes, a tree to be desired, the sexual. Again, the one thing about desire, a tree to be desired to make one wise. She took the fruit thereof. So we know what the fruit is. But here go the point. I'm telling you about shape-shifting, right? She took the fruit thereof. This the woman. Took. We know what took means, to lie with a woman. So it says, she took the fruit thereof, right? And did eat. So we know what that was. Verse, like I said the other night, 13, 14, and 15 going to tell you what they did. I'm in chapter 3, verse 13. And the Lord God said unto the woman, what is this that thou hast done? Nobody answers that. They did the nasty. That's what they done. So it says, and the woman said, the serpent beguiled me. What do beguile mean? Seduce. Wholly seduced. If you wholly seduce somebody, you trying to do something with them. So she said, he beguiled me, and I did eat. So she did. That's what the eat means. Did eat. So here go the drama. Where the drama come in. And I gave also unto my husband, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat. If did eat up here means that she had a sexual encounter with him, then she gave to her husband, and he did eat. That means he had a sexual encounter. So what did he do? Shape shift.
Oh my.
Lilith. Come on. We've been fumbling with that. Like I say, you do really what you want, let it marinate. But we reading all over that. And that's why she says over here in chapter 4, verse 1. After you understand what they had done, he tells you over here. We're gonna look at what the Lord host tell her in 14. He says, the Lord God said unto the serpent. So when you see when I show you this and you see what Eve done, then we know that she ate, and then Adam ate. So it says, and 13, chapter 3, verse 14, the Lord God, this Lord of hosts, said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this. You see what this him, he said it to the woman and to him, right? Thou art cursed above all cattle, above every beast of the field. Upon thy belly shall thou go, thus shall thou eat all the days of thy life. Now here go what they done. And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed. He didn't ask the woman, what is this that you done? And he told the serpent, because of what you done, you curse. And then he's going to telling you right in verse 15 what they done. I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed. And but one way to get a seed, he went into it. That's what they done. Thy seed and her seed. 2 seeds. Now, let's turn the page. Go to chapter 4, verse 1. He just told us 2 seeds in your belly. Just like I showed you what he done with Sarah when she laughed. Sarah ain't laugh out loud. She laughed within herself. But he asked Abraham, why she laughing? So right here, we already know he got this capability. So we already know it's 2. She didn't have sex. with the serpent, and she didn't have sex with Adam. And he telling her right here, it's 2 seeds in your stomach before she even had the babies. Just like he told Rebecca, it's 2 seeds in your stomach before she even had them. So he says 2 seeds in your stomach, one from him and one from Adam. So then you get to chapter 4, verse 1, and Adam knew Eve, his wife, and she conceived and bore Cain. And now here you go right here. And said, I have gotten a man from the Lord. See that? The Lord ain't nowhere in the picture. The Lord ain't sleep with her. He a supernatural being though, but the serpent a supernatural being. That's why she's saying that. God the host ain't did nothing with her. So she got a man from the Lord. Why would she say that? And then why she ain't say Adam knew his wife Eve right there? See that? Adam slept with her. That's what that's telling you. Adam slept with her and she conceived and bore Cain. See that? Cain. And then she said, I have gotten a man from the Lord. What? You got a man from Adam? When she said she got a man from Adam? Rather than the Lord ain't had nothing to do with it. Okay, let that from me. So when you go back and look at all that based on the information I just gave you, we see what's going on with that. So the serpent, and then like I said, the people that's been on here, you go get the book of Adam and Eve, you're gonna see what he done. I showed you all the Dracula ain't nothing but Lucifer. Zeus ain't nothing but Lucifer. He shape-shifted. Zeus got 20, 30 kids. That's because he going to these queens when the king ain't there at battle or whatever. He fly up there to the castle like a thunderbird. He can shapeshift. When he get there, he transform and look just like the king. The woman think the king and came back. And he sleep with it. He got all these kids all over the place. So that's him. Through the ages, that's him. He doing all the shapeshifting. I showed you all the different forms he take as Dracula. He a wolf. He just red hairy beast. You know, and then he's this 12-foot tall, half man, half bat. Then he turned into a fall. He's shapeshifting. That's what these angels are capable of doing. So now I'm gonna go one more place. Then I'm gonna show you some images. Then you have to ask yourself, like I said, we've been fumbling with these scriptures because we didn't have all the information. So I'm in Genesis 20. Okay. I'm in Genesis 25, starting at verse 19. We dealing with the information that's been put out. We're gonna go a little further into these images in a minute, but I'm in Genesis 25, 19. These are the generations of Isaac, Abraham's son. Abraham begot Isaac. Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah, the wife, and daughter of Bethel, Syrian Panorama, sister of Laman. So I showed you how Abraham, Adam, all the way down. Ain't no funny looking eyes, ain't no red hair, ain't none of that in their lineage. That's abomination. That comes from somewhere else. And the Most High dealing with DNA. You know, but these clowns and got us, we all off doing something else. But the Most High dealing with DNA. So at the end, when it was time for the flood, he chose Noah because Noah was perfect in his DNA. He had all the same DNA that Adam had. That's why he chose him. We fumbling with it. So he said because Noah looked like Adam, and all of Adam's descendants, he chose Noah. Noah was the only one left, perfect in his generation, him and Shem. So we right here. It's the birth of Esau and Jacob. And these are the generations of Isaac, Abraham's son. Abraham begot Isaac, and Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah, the wife, the daughter of Bethel, Syrian, a Panorama, sister of Laman, Syrian. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife because she was barren. And the Lord said and the Lord was entreated of him, and Rebekah, his wife, conceived. So we know the serpent came into the scene over here. We ain't know it up until recently when the Most High started waking us up. But, you know, we know now he was in the garden. He did something with Eve. So we're at 22. And the children struggled together within her, And she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb. He did the same thing with Eve. 2 nations in thy womb, 2 manner of people, 2 different type of people are separated. He already told you it's some foul play right here. He says, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and the one shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. And when their days were to be fulfilled, when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. It was twins in Eve's womb, and it was foul play. 25. And the first came out red. Come on, we just went through all this. Most High called them out and told them, wherefore thou go, why you traveling in the greatness of your strength? Wherefore thou apparel is red. Come on. See, so he says, and the first came out red all over, like a hairy garment. We saw what the beast did, how the beast looked that slept with woman in the garden. Exactly. What he done, he went in the garden for one thing, they had sex with her. Okay? And then he says, and the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. And after that came out his brother out, and he took hold of Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 70 years old. So I got a question for somebody can answer it. Or it was twins in Eve's womb, right? Hello?
Right.
When the twins in Eve's womb?
Yes.
Right.
Who came out first? Who came out first with Abel and Cain?
I think Cain came out first.
Right. Cain, the wicked one, came out first. Well, we see right here. Look at this. 24. Isaiah 25 and 24. And when her days were to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. And the first came out red all over. Esau came out first. Esau wicked as hell. He don't belong there. Did anybody watch the video on the Queen of Trees?
I watched it.
What'd you think?
I think I'll never eat figs again.
Did it make any sense though? They tell the whole story about the garden, right?
Right.
Yeah. 2 different animals. One of them go in that's gonna help the tree and put their seeds in the feed. Then the wicked come in there behind it. And the wicked, when he put his seed in there, they eat up, kill the other ones. And he ain't gonna do nothing to help the tree. The fruit fly the eggs gonna come out. They're gonna pollinate the tree for the next generation of figs. But this wasp, he goes in there and put his eggs in the same place where the fruit fly put his in. And it's all on the inside. It's a secret garden. Fig gonna never blossom, open up like a regular flower. It's on the inside. So it's almost as if Most High cursed that tree, and he put the story on. But anyway, so we see right here, both of them 2 wicked ones, wicked as hell. They came out red. And me, you know, when you go back and do your research on, and you got to do your research on these redheads. Nobody don't want to deal with that when you start looking at DNA. Where the hell they came from? This fire red person, red with red hair. Where did that come from? You know, the DNA. When you look at the African, and then you look at the Israelite, where this person came from? This fire red hair. I believe Cain was red-headed. They identifying this thing right here with identifying this part right here that when he came, mulatto. He had Afro features in him, but he had red hair. But anyway, so here you go. Esau came out red. So now let's go into it. Let's look at it. So based on all that information, so I'm opening up. Anybody got any questions or comments so far before I go to the next phase? Anybody got any questions? They discombobulated by anything? Everybody good? Okay.
I wanted to ask though, when we look at the videos and everything, I see that a lot of that stuff is happening over in the area where we're headed.
Right. Exactly.
So it makes me wonder how we will dwell in safety. I mean, if we're leaving soon, but all of that upheaval is going on, I mean, how does that work?
So you know anything about the Middle East, right?
Right.
So the land of Canaan is the Middle East, right?
Right.
What was in the land of Canaan when Abraham got there? 7 nations, the giants, right?
Yes.
Okay. In Egypt, the land of Egypt, you got Mizraim. Ham got 4 sons. I showed you that Mizraim is giants. The I am on the internet. So that's showing you that these fallen angels, that's where they came down at. The geographical location where they came down at was in Egypt. So they injected these giants in Ham's lineage. And so he said, my children oftentimes, the Lord host said, my children, Israel oftentimes went down to Africa, and the Egyptian, which is Mizraim, the giants, that's part of their character. They all have an oppressive spirit. They oppress them and put them in the bondage. So when he delivered them out of Egypt, where he put them at? While he was dealing with the Egyptians, where did he place the Israelites at?
In the wilderness.
In Goshen. Right?
Right.
He put them in the land of Goshen. In between Egypt, it's giants all over the place in Egypt. It's giants all over the place in the land of Canaan. But he put Israel in Goshen and separated from them and protected them while he did the 10 plagues. So ain't nothing new under the sun what he getting ready to do.
Okay, I got it.
Okay, so let's look at it. So we're dealing with this red head thing right here. What we're dealing with. So I'm going to put some images. So here we go. And like I said, we been just like with these movies, we've been fumbling with this stuff because we don't know nothing about it. So here we go. See that? So now you know about this red head. Now you notice since they've been posting it up all over the place. See that? Look at that. They ain't slipping with it. See the red head? Everybody on there got red head. See that? Look at red head. Look over here. See that? See that? He even got the Most High asked the question, why art thou red in our apparel? See that? There you go with the red. See that? You know, different as a clown over here. See that? Got all red on. He always dealing with blood. You know, he deal with blood. See that? Look at all that. So now that I done just, this been made plain, then you got to say, you got to look at this. What this dude is? See that? Who is this dude? The Most High said in Genesis chapter 11, the imagination of man's mind. He had to come down in Genesis chapter 11 because of man's imagination. So after these people impose their will on us with this clown right here, we already know who he is now because we looking at it. He ain't slipping with he posting it up. He's behind me. So then after they pose their will on us, this is what we come up with. Y'all shot. Come on. So let's go all the way in. Because we're going to show you how we dealing with the shape-shifting part of it, the red head, we dealing with the DNA, we dealing with all of it. So here we go. Okay. Let me get this right quick. Give me a minute. It's like a little refresher course. Sort of like a little refresher course. You know what I'm saying? So here we go. Okay. Okay. like I was telling you before, I said that they was you know, shape shifting. See that right here? See that? Now this over in Great Britain right here. When Esau, we know he came out red, hairy all over. See that? These same people, now they in Great Britain. I'm telling you that they world travel, but they had mulattoes. It was mixed. They had mulattoes. So here we go right here. This is Queen Elizabeth. Great grandmother looked like before they whited out when they got to Europe. This is what she looked like. See the red hair? See that? You got the Negro features. See the fun looking eyes? Didn't they go to this place and got this guy that had fun looking eyes and made him a royalty? See that? The red hair, the green, and the blue eyes go together. So you say, what you talking about? Well, this just happened a couple of years ago over in Kandahar. See that? The soldiers, red-headed giant, came out of the cave. See that? So we know what Zephano did. He went inside the cave. It was a beast up in there. You know, it was hammering the ox. So he had to be huge in order to be dealing with. He didn't kill the ox. He eating it. When Zephano saw him, he was eating the ox. So we already know. We see everything else. The wolf, the werewolf, they all got red hair. The beast that was in the Dracula, he got red hair. You see here? See the red hair? This is what they killed about 5-6 years ago in Kandahar. And so we know this all tied to the shape-shifting and all that. See that? We've been fumbling with it. Okay? We'll go in a little deeper, then open up for some questions. Like I said, pray for me. Going in. So here we go. This is my, see right here? See? This is royalty. See, it's showing you the evolution right here. See, she got the red hair, but she got Negro features. And then we go another one. They evolved. Now, see the neck? I told you about the neck. See the neck? Eve ain't this ain't how Eve look. That's 17. See that? Transform. They transform, shape shifted right in front of our face. Then look over here. This is the end result. They went from here. This is what you see today. Go back and look at some pictures of Queen Elizabeth when she was young. See that? Came right back to what they was at. See all this, everything they stole, all the gold and jewelry they stole, all this stolen. You see that? Posted over with the red hair. Like I said, red hair go with the funny looking eyes. See the funny looking eyes? Yeah. We fumbling with that. So what's this thing right here? Right here. Hide this long ass neck right here. That's what this is. Hide this long ass neck. Come on. Okay, so that being said, open it up for some Q&A. Anybody got any questions? Comments?
So with the you were talking about how they described Noah at first.
Right.
So
They plugged that in the book of Enoch that Noah was
So they added that
right, right,
description. Yeah. Okay.
right. But that, like I was saying before, when you understand typology and all that, that's they did it all over, all the scriptures, all the books they didn't burn and hide, they did that to them. And then, so that's the only information you have. So when you read it, you trying to apply it to the knowledge of the Most High, but it's been injected. And after you get a gist of what they're doing, then you pretty much spot it whenever you see it. Because ain't no way in the sun, no albino. That's a defect. I know it's gonna be Most High said he perfect in his generation. So how is he albino? Albino is defective. And then he had his eyes shine like the sun. Okay, so like I said, you have to, when you first start seeing that, you gotta let it ferment. But this is how the Most High dealing with everything. He dealing with it point blank the way it is. It's not no, simple metaphors and similes and all that trying to, or typology. That ain't what he's talking about. When he says that Noah was perfect in his generation, that's what he meant. Noah had the same DNA Adam had. And his DNA had been tampered with. Those giants and the fallen angels had been tampered with everybody all over the place. The only person was left that had Adam's DNA was Noah and Shem, and they wives. That's what he meant. Just like when he told the priesthood, the Levites, can't nobody come in the temple, can't nobody come into the Holy of Holies with nothing elongated on them. So the only way you get elongated is from these giants, because they got this disease, they call where everything grow long. Big ears, big nose, big feet, big hands, all that. So he said you can't nobody come in the temple with nothing superficial on them or elongated. So he dealing with DNA. And they got us, we approaching everything the wrong way. We're dealing with it the way for what he's talking about. The same when he says that don't let your sons marry, don't let your daughters marry their sons. Well, what's the daughter for? The daughter is to help the man reproduce himself. So if he said don't marry them, that means something wrong with them, because they're gonna bring that whatever it is they got, they're gonna bring it into to Israel DNA. And that's what he's talking about. You said the same thing with the men. Don't marry their daughters. Mix your DNA with them. So what you have to do is start looking around, because at one time everybody was distinguishable by their characteristics. But we ain't paying no attention to none of that. Right. Like I said, with all the racism and all that stuff that's going on in the world today, especially with these British people, London, you never would have figured that this their origins. Right here, what I'm showing you right here. Yeah. You never would have figured this is their origin. That's what Hitler was talking about. The Edomites that was mulattoes came over there and brought that Negro gene to Europe. But before that, they was blonde hair, blue eyes, green eyes, red heads with green eyes and blue eyes. Until they came. And that's what he was trying to kill them off. So they brought the Negro genome code over to Europe. Is there something? Any comments or questions? Or anything anybody want to bring up before we get off the line? So yeah, I'm gonna read one more thing before I get off here. So I want to show you somehow, what they've done to us when it comes to this New Testament. Now understanding that, I just showed you understanding that about the these shape shifting and these fallen angels and the giants and how he created a half human, they sleeping with animals. You got beasts, because that's what it is. Born that animal carry DNA in it. Got angel DNA and human DNA in it. And then on top of that, they were violent. But they don't talk about that part of it. They didn't smooth everything out because of Christianity. So let me read something right quick. That never make no sense until now. It says Revelation 13 says, I showed you how they come at the council there. See, Jesus is Horus, Jesus is Zeus, Jesus is the Buddha. So it says right here, it says that in 13, and I stood upon the sands of the sea, and I saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads, 10 horns, and upon his head 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, upon his head the name of blasphemy. And the beast which I saw was like a leopard, and his feet, all this coming out of Daniel. The reason I'm reading it, it says, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion, and the dragon gave him power and his seat and his great authority. So this beast is the fourth beast. This fourth beast of Rome. And I saw one of his heads, as it were, wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast. So the beast is the Roman Empire, the Holy Roman Empire. It started out the Roman Empire. Then they sacked it. They sacked Rome, and the beast received a wound. And then Constantine brought it back when he created the Holy Roman Empire. But he had to have a Messiah over it. That's when he went back, looked at all the previous crucified saviors with the 16 of them, and they came up with JC. But I showed you right here. Look at it. Hold on 1 minute. But we know I showed you where these people ascended from, right? Let's look at it right quick. So I showed you where they ascended from. Esau came from Mount Hor, Mount Seir, and it was red-headed giants that lived there. They were red-headed giants all over the place. But so here you go. See that? With the council of Seir, he had to create a Messiah. Well, he ain't gonna. They ascended from these red-headed giants and the red-headed people, so they ain't gonna make their Messiah look black. They're gonna make their Messiah look like them. So this what they created right here. Keep that in mind. Now let me finish reading. So it says 3, and I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed. And all the world wondered after the beast. They wondered because now it's the Holy Roman Empire. And they worshiped the dragon, which gave power unto the beast, Lucifer. And they worshiped the beast, saying, who is likened unto the beast? Who was able to make war with it? We know about the Roman Empire. Couldn't nobody war with it. And there was given unto him a mouth. See that? Speaking great things and blasphemy, and power was given unto him to continue for 40 and 2 months, right? So it says, and there was given unto him a mouth. I told you, everything written in red. Everything written in red is what Jesus said. But I told you there's a group, a think tank that's writing all that. And they didn't create this character right here from Horus, Jesus the Christ. So then 6 says, and he opened his mouth and blasphemed against God, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle, and them that dwell in heaven. And it was given unto him to make war against the saints, as Israelites, to overcome them. They overcame us. And power was given unto him over all kindred and tongues and nations, and all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose name are not written in the book of life. His name ain't in the book of life. And Lamb says life of the lambs slain from the foundation of the earth. So let's look at that. It says, and all that will dwell upon the earth shall worship him. But let's look at it. Look at it. So I'm in chapter Revelation 5. He says, he was over here. It says, and it was given unto him 8, and all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose name was not written in the book of life. So I'm over here in Revelation chapter 5, verse 5. And one of the elders said unto me, weep not, behold, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David, hath prevailed to open the book and to loose the 7 seals. I beheld, and lo, in the midst of the throne and of the 4 beasts, and in the midst of the elders stood the Lamb, as it was had been slain, having 7 horns and 7 eyes, which are the 7 spirits of God. And he came and took the book out of the right hand of him that sat upon the throne. And when he had taken the book, the 4 beasts and the 24 elders fell down, see that, before the Lamb, having every one of them harps and golden vials and odors with our prayers and saints. And they sung a new song, thou art worthy to take the book and open the seals thereof, for thou wast slain and hast redeemed us to God by the blood of every kindred and tongue and people and nation. So see that? Like he said, the beast caused everybody to worship this image. So let's keep on. We're gonna keep going. So when it says that right here, we already saw the other day what Brother JT was showing you that everybody is sitting from the same place. So we tell you right here in verse 9, they sung a new song, which is right, New Testament, saying, thou art worthy to take the book and to open the seals thereof, for thou wast slain and hast redeemed us to God by the blood of every kindred and tongue and people. That's a lie. He even told them it's some people you can't even marry. How he redeemed them if it's some people you can't even let your sons and daughters marry. How he even came just a total opposite of what the Most High talking about. He didn't command the Israelites. Even when Ezra came back from Babylon, they had to put away some of the children that they had intermingled with race of people that was around in the land of Canaan. So now all of a sudden he got a son that he done redeemed every kindred and tongue and people. He done saved everybody. Come on. So anyway, I'm back over in 13. It says 7, and it was given unto him to make war with the saints and overcome them, and the power was given to him over all kindred. See that? They go again, all kindred and tongues and nations, and all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the earth. And if any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity, and he that killeth with the sword must be killed by the sword. Here is the patience of the saints. Here go what I'm going to right here. Let me see that. Yeah, 13, okay. It says then, verse 11 says, and I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon, and he executed all the power of the first beast before him, and caused the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. So the first beast we know was the Roman Empire. Then the second beast with this Messiah that he created at the Council of Nicaea is the second beast. And the second beast and the Messiah that they concocted caused everybody to worship the Roman Empire. So it says, and 12, and he executed judgment. All this out of Daniel. One reason I'm reading is out of Daniel. Daniel got about 12 chapters missing. It says, and he executed all the power of the first beast before him, and caused the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. And he doeth great wonders, so that he make a fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men, and he deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had done. That's all in the New Testament. Elijah did 7 miracles, and Elisha did 7 miracles, and then Jesus did 14. He did all 14 of the miracles Elisha and Elijah done. So typology. So 14 says, and he deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that he should make an image of the beast. See that? Which had the wound by a sword and did live, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast. So I'm going to show you what the image is. That the image of the beast should both speak, everything written in red, and cause that as many as would not worship the image that would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he caused all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bound, to receive a mark in their head and in their forehead. And no man may buy or sell. All this that happened, save he that have a mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of the name. Now here we go. Here is the wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is a man. Here you go, right here. You can fumble with it if you want. You got a man right here. They got a man right there. So look, it says, let me read 18 again. Here's the wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. So he made an image of where he came from, his descendants. There it is, right here. So if you say you done woke up and you found out that the Israelites is black, well, who is this dude? And where he come from? The Most High says an elite that falls to the ground, you don't know nothing about. So where this dude come from? I just gave you the history, his history. Roman Empire and created him. Okay? So, like I said, let me play this here and then we want. Anybody got any questions? Let me play a little bit of this. This guy right here. You wanna watch the whole video. It's called, the name of the video is
my name's Scott Wood. I'm the host and co-founder of the London 14 Society.
It's London 14 Society, Shapeshifters. It's the history of shapeshifters. So I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna play this right here. I ain't gonna play too much of it, though. You know what I'm saying? Here we go. Okay. Oh, okay. They acting like you know.
But those pentagrams, there's a story that you can map out the cemeteries and come up with a pentagram, the sign of a witch or witchcraft, right? There are dozens of cemeteries in Athens, mostly just small family plots on old farms. You bury your family in your backyard, And so they have these things. You can map out the pentagram. You can map out a square, a rectangle, a triangle. You can map out any geometric shape or any ungeometrical shape you want looking at that map. So I don't hold any credence with that particular story. But Athens is loaded with stories. And so if it's amazing that she studied there. I don't know if it's coming from the UK or from here in the US, but go St. Ohio and go St. Ohio on the road again. Both have stories from that area.
So there was a shout out to people from Ohio, from I think Caitlin. I'm from Athens. Shout out to Ohio.
Okay, here you go, right here. So
it could just mean that
let's talk about the shape shifting part of it. And they got it right there in our face.
Or could also
Looking for a lifeline in these tough times? Well, forget about.
Here we go.
Basically, somehow he changed himself to match the circumstances and match the people
on the Mount of Transfiguration.
The road to Emmaus, I think, is another example. Just to really quickly rehash that story if you don't know it. After Jesus' death and his resurrection, 2 of his disciples were walking along the road to a town called Emmaus. They were talking about him. And as they were talking about him, a stranger suddenly appeared alongside the road and was walking with them and entered into the conversation and walked and talked with the disciples all the way into the town. And they did not recognize the fact until they finally got into town and had dinner with the stranger and other disciples that the person was Jesus. Now, these guys were with Jesus in the desert for almost 3 years, 24/7 living by his side. Yet they don't recognize him only a matter of a couple of days after he dies and is resurrected. So the question there is, why did they not recognize him? Was again his appearance shifted in some way to hide himself from them? And finally, you have the example of the Transfiguration, where Jesus goes up to a mountaintop. He has some of his disciples with him, and he says, you stay down here at the bottom of the mountain. I'm going to go up to the top. And he goes up there, and as the Bible sort of describes it, he turns into, for lack of a better word, sort of the...
I told you, fallen angels that live on these mountains. And then we notice these angels got the ability to shapeshift. They're on a mountain, and he shapeshifted. Okay.
It's radiant, glowing light being. And also 2 disciples, Elijah and Moses, who have been long dead for centuries, appear alongside
apparitions. We saw that.
So
we saw that in
figure. The Bible
Adam
says
and Eve.
how the disciples shield their eyes, can't even look at him. And then after that, he comes down from the mountain. Everything is quiet again. He's back to the same person. So what is that? What happened there? You don't know. What is a transfiguration? Did he transform, shapeshift into some luminous light being, for lack of a better word? And it's not just Christianity that has transfiguration.
Here we go, right here.
There are stories of the Buddha at least twice in his lifetime.
See, we don't know that. Buddha is, I told you about the 16 crucified saviors, bro. The man telling you, the Buddha was shape-shifting on people.
Undergoing a similar type of transfiguration. In Hinduism, you have the avatars of Vishnu. There are 7 different avatars of Vishnu. I'm sorry, there are 8 avatars of Vishnu, actually. And each one of these, again, are not shapeshifters in the sense that they don't come down to Earth and spend time on Earth and then transform into other beings while they're here. But it's the one God. It's Vishnu appearing over the ages as different avatars, different presentations, different people, if you will. So to my mind, that's shape.
So, like I was saying before, that's our London or 14 society shapeshifters. It's the history of it. It's like an hour and 40 minutes. So with that being said, anybody got any comments on what we just talked about? Did anybody get anything out of it?
Yes, that's amazing.
Okay. Yeah, so like I said, we can't apply none of this knowledge until it's revealed. Because like I said, we sitting there reading stuff in the garden, spirit, it's telling you something ain't right, but you don't know how to disseminate. But once the information start coming, then the story start unfolding. You can go back with proper knowledge and see what's really going on. Yeah. Anybody else got any comments? Here we go. Okay, so let me do this here. So I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow in the morning at 9 o'clock. I hope y'all got something out of it. Shalom.